Hello, Aquarius. Welcome back to the Divine Dojo. I am Gabriela, and I'm here to do your reading for June 15th through the 20th. I'm going to start off with cleansing the space. So if you just want to take a deep breath in and release whenever you're ready. Deep breath in. And release. Last one. Deep breath in and release. Inviting spirit in to give me clarity and be a clear channel and give Aquarius a clear and concise message for their best and highest good. The Aquarian Collective. So first I want to start off with the astrological aspects and transits that are happening. So June 15th is a big day. I'm recording this on Friday, but Sunday is going to be a big day because we have Mars and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus, which will be intense. So this can create like a lot of impulsive energy, a lot of restlessness within ourselves. But it is good for radical changes, to make some radical changes, but not to be like risky or, not for like risky or rash decisions. Like if you are going to make a change, hopefully you've been thinking about the changes that you've been wanting to make and not be impulsive or, have it be because of like frustration in the energy or in your body. So there's definitely going to be chaos in the world. It has already started. The squares, the planets already start to, rumble already. And as we know, with everything that's going on here in North America with immigration riots and now overseas, shots fired, Israel and to Iran. And so there's just going to be chaos. So I'd like for you not to be focused on that. Yes, be informed, but don't let the social media, the media, the governments, all of that want to suck our energy and keep us in a low vibe and, keep us distracted from creating our lives and having, being creative. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to like read tarot or be an influencer or anything, but like create in your own life whatever it is that you're being called to create and change. So also on that same day, I think so Mars and Leo, it's kind of already starting to happen on Saturday night-ish, and then Sunday, that 15th, the Jupiter and Cancer, both square Saturn and Aries. So again, tension between like wanting to expand and then, Jupiter, and then constriction, Saturn being more rigid and more of restriction. So the best thing to do on this day, and it's Father's Day too, so it's going to be a crazy Father's Day, is get balance and have not only empathy for yourself and compassion for yourself, but also collaborate, but not get heated, if you are going to be collaborating with people and, hanging out on Father's Day and stuff like that. You really want to get grounded and you want to get balanced because the energies are just want to siphon our and rile us up, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So that's basically June 15th through the 18th, but within that, we have on the 17th, Mars is entering Virgo, which gives us a shift from like bold, action-orientated energy to more of a detail, goal-driven type of energy. And it's more detailed, more focused energy. So this is a good prime time to get on your routines, get on your health plans and health regimens. Definitely ground, and I keep saying ground because you know, as above, so below. Like when the energies intensify in the, you know, in the cosmos, it intensifies here, and not only here, you know, as the world, but like individually too. So one thing to know for when the period of time when Mars enters Virgo is to avoid perfectionism, you know, let things go, you know, it doesn't get it done, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, be detail orientated, but you know, don't be a perfectionist during this time. So avoid trying to do that. And then June 18th, Jupiter squares Neptune, another square here in Aries. So we're having the clash of the feminine and masculine energy. So there can be some like emotional confusion versus like reality, you know, illusion versus like reality. So Neptune is about illusion. So, you know, again, I can't stress this enough. Stay grounded, get in earth, get in, you know, forest walk or beach walk, or you know, whatever you can to ground yourself. Step on grass for 10-15 minutes a day. There's that. And then June 20th, the sun enters Cancer. So we are officially in Cancer season and the summer solstice. So very exciting times. Spring and fall are my favorite seasons, not necessarily summer, especially here in Texas now that I'm here. It's fucking hot. But anyhow, a good thing to ask yourself during this time this week is like, how can I ground myself and my energy and my work in the mundane, in like the chaos and in the everyday, you know, happenings in the mundane world. So that's that. That's the aspects for the week. So I'm going to start off with an angel number card for my Aquarius collective. Oh, we got one right away. Thank you, Spirit. 4444 says blessings in disguise. Challenges may lie ahead, for sure, but you have the strength to overcome them. If you felt lost, know that the winds of change are now blowing in your favor. Though some things may fall apart, you're building the foundation for something better. Stay strong and keep moving forward. Yeah, good stuff. So now we're going to do pull a catalyst card. It's kind of like an opener to everything. I'll pull the top one. The threshold. Interesting. Okay. The threshold. So I love that. I love that you got the 4444, and then you got the threshold, right? It's like challenges may lie ahead. Though some things may fall apart, you know, you're at the threshold of something different. And like, look at all like this fire sun energy. It's wild. Yeah, you're at the precipice of, you know, something changing and something different and something possibly challenging, like the 4444 says. So let's see what this week has in store for my Aquarius collective. What you got, Spirit, for the Aquarius collective? I'm trying to keep these guys short because like I'm doing a weekly and they're like 40 minutes long. I'm like, dude, I need to chill out on that shit. So hope you guys are all doing well out there in the world that is a chaos. You know, that it's still so beautiful, but you know, it's trying to make us feel like there's chaos. How funny. Yeah, so you got the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups reverse. Cancer just kind of got these similar cards, but totally different order. Yeah, so maybe there's some confusion, maybe there's some indecision, maybe there's some avoidance, maybe there's like some fear of change, fear of loss. Maybe you've had some clouded judgment, or you're rethinking an idea that you had, and now you're second guessing yourself. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna shuffle these more. I mean, I shuffled, you saw me. Okay, thank you. So you got the Nine of Swords reverse, the Four of Swords upright, the Five of Cups upright, the Page of Cups upright. Yeah, so you've been definitely like some, you know, going through some inner turmoil and indecision and like, you know, some sort of fear or hopelessness. But you need to release this worry. You need to relax and contemplate and figure shit out, you know? And maybe you are regretting like some decision that you've made. But with this Page of Cups, you know, there's some creative stuff coming into the horizon, into this week, you know, maybe the first, like I said, the beginning of the Sunday through the 18th is going to be a little roughish. What is this Page of Cups about? I mean, I'm pretty clear about what the other stuff is about, but what is this opportunity? Thank you. Yeah, so you have definitely a new opportunity coming in with the Ace of Wands, new project, maybe new inspiration. You know, with this energy, all the squares, and like I said, that there's like this impulsiveness and restlessness. Use it to your benefit. Don't use it for reckless shit. Use it for you to create something in your life that you know you've been kind of contemplating, or you have been in a regret about. What do we have? We have Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, Pisces, Capricorn, Sag, and then you got the Queen of Pentacles. And then you got the King of Swords reverse. Yeah, so this Queen of Pentacles, she's chilling, right? She has her pentacles. She's like a chilling queen. She's practical. She's you know, financially stable. She's definitely a nurturing queen for sure. And maybe that's what it is about nurturing yourself, male or female, doesn't matter. Nurturing yourself, especially with this Four of Swords upright. You know, you got the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Swords in the reverse, but then we have the Four of Swords upright, the Five of Cups upright, and then the Page of Cups upright as well, and the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles upright. So yeah, and so then we have the King of Swords reverse. So you know, this king, when he's reversed or not in his best, you know, normally if he's upright, he's like a clear-headed king, you know, that will make good decisions. Maybe a little bit doesn't follow his heart as much, but definitely can be callous, can be rude, can be emotionally not in control of his emotions because he's more in the head. Maybe can manipulate too. So, you know, I would say don't manipulate yourself or anybody else, especially with these energies on Sunday through the 18th. Yeah, there's something you definitely need to take care of yourself this week, and don't be impulsive. I want to get clarity with the light spheres. What is this Five of Cups about? Six of Wands. Yeah, Six of Wands is like, you know, celebration. and like satisfaction after, you know, a hard one kind of like battle. But I think after you rest and after, you know, you get some clarity, and you will have more of this type of energy. Why is the Nine of Swords reversed? I mean, I want to know why the King of Swords reversed. I already got that energy. I know what that's about. I want to know why the King of Swords. Thank you. Four of Swords. Again, you got the Four of Swords again. I think you've been maybe going at it too hard, and I just want you really to consider taking care of yourself, especially this week. This is one of the most intense, astrologically speaking, weeks of the year. Well, and you know, in the fall we get some other intensities, eclipses and stuff like that. But there's a call to like having like a grounded and balanced approach this week because of the energies that are going on in the cosmos. So yeah, definitely you need some solitude, you need some relaxation, you need some rest, you need to contemplate, you need to revive yourself so you can have this energy here. Tell me more about the Six of Wands. No, I wanted to follow. Two of Wands. Yeah, maybe it's just because you've been in your head because of a choice that you've needed to make, or that you feel like you have to make, or that, you know, you've been worried about a lot of stuff and maybe in regret or making indecisions or confusion. Yeah. But once that choice is made, like, that's why I asked, I said, what was the Six of Wands for? I mean, why is it here? And it's like, because a choice needs to be made. And this week, this energy, like the 15th through the 18th, it's great for radical changes, radical transformations, and I mean radical in the sense that you've already been kind of thinking about this stuff, right? It's not getting like a risky kind of decision that you're gonna make, or, you know, or a rash decision that comes out of nowhere. If that's the case, definitely don't do it. But this radical change you've been contemplating for a hot minute. So this is a great week to use that energy to make the radical change needed. So what is the final advice for Aquarius? My beautiful Aquarium. Thank you. Yeah, Knight of Swords. But it was reversed. So this guy, he's coming in hot, right? He's coming in hot and fast. He's like running, you know, but it's reversed. So definitely no rash decisions this week. Definitely you can make a radical change, but obviously with something that you've already kind of been thinking, contemplating, or you know, pondering for a while. So that's what I have for you there. You know, King of Swords, Knight of Swords. Yeah, they are both upside down. So definitely use this energy for them. All right, I am going to pull Wisdom of the Oracle card to close off, and then maybe an angel answer Oracle card. What do Aries, Aquarius need to know this week, Spirit? Thank you. Imagine, but it's reversed. I mean, this deck, really, you don't read it reverse. Yeah, and maybe you have, you know, you haven't, with this Ace of Swords reversed, and maybe you've just had have had some clouded judgment. You know, you've had some chaos, inner confusion, like no inner clarity. And so you're, you know, maybe you rethinking something that you've already been contemplating for a long time, but it's like, yeah, the mental realm is where you're stuck in here, you know, like the mental. That's why you definitely need to have this rest and rejuvenation, and, you know, take it easy on yourself this week. Because I love this upright, right? This is like dreamy, blue, very, you know, peaceful type of energy, but reverse, it's like, there's definitely like the imagination is not, and maybe you're using your imagination for like looking at the worst case scenarios instead of the best case scenarios. So definitely change that frequency if you can. Let me pull an angel oracle card. Hululu. You see that? Oh shit. For Aquarius, Spirit. For Aquarius for this week. What do they need to know? Thank you. Oh my God, I hate it when they fall. I'm so like stuck here. I need to move this. In the near future. So yeah, I mean, I think, you know, this week is the week to chillax and take it a little bit easy. Use the energy for your best and highest good, and not for, you know, yeah, making a nice radical change, but not a risky or rash decision that comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So whatever is going to be changed, you've been thinking about it, you've been contemplating, you've been, you know, it's been on your mind for a while. So, and what will come of it will be in the near future. You know? I'm just going to pull a Moonology card if it wants to talk. It hasn't wanted anybody talking this deck. Spirit, do you have anything to say to Aquarius? New moon in Cancer. Well, in the near future, maybe by the new moon in Cancer. We just had the full moon in Sagittarius, so maybe by the new moon in Cancer, you're going to get your clarity and you'll be stepping into this threshold, right? It says you and your loved ones are safe. Let me read the threshold and we will close the reading. The threshold. XLV. Well, if you've gotten this far, I hope you please comment, share, like, and subscribe. It really does help me out, help me grow. And I would be ever so grateful and appreciative about it for your love and kindness. Yeah, so maybe by the new moon, you know, once you've like gotten some rest and some clarity and all of this, in the new moon in Cancer, it says the door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continually, consciously or unconsciously. Doorways, gates, entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one, however. You have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Yeah, it's really draining. Trust me, I know. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step toward the future that calls you. I love that. Like I said, use this energy this week for that change to take that step over the threshold. But definitely get balanced, get grounded, because we're in for a ride, you guys. I love you, Aquarius. I hope you have a beautiful week. Bye.